Hello, this is Victor Rallo Jr. and usually we're in Italy, but today we're in the heartland of America, New Jersey. I'm here with Massimo Piccin from coastal Tuscany, and we brought him very close to the water because Bolgheri is very close to the sea, and I wanted you to feel at home. Yes. I didn't want you to feel like you were somewhere crazy like in Middle America. And tonight we have a great tasting, the first time ever, Bolgheri Superiore 04, 05, 06, 07, 08, 09, and we're going to taste them all tonight. And you've tasted them before in Italy, but not with the 09, so really this is the first time of all your vintages.
Really, this is the first time, and I am very excited about that because the first time in United States and the first time out of Italy, so all over the world, that we are making a vertical testing of Sapaio. The first vintage was 2004, and so we start with the first vintage, and 2009 the vintage that will be released soon.
December, January.
January, exactly.
So, for many years, since 04 you've been making wine, and for 3 or 4 years your wine has received 3 glasses from Gambard Rosso, and this is kind of the highest award that you can receive as a winemaker in a winery in Italy. And I think your wines are, on your label you have a crown, and it's written very kind of rough, kind of like a child would. And I think you told me that you were the new guy on the block, but maybe someday you would be the king, the crown. And I think, from the wines that I've tasted and where the wine and direction the winery is going is, you may be right. We might not have as much advertising dollars as some of the big guys from Bolgheri, but I think the wine in the bottle really shows true, and you may become the king of Bolgheri.
I don't know. I hope so. But Victor, we are really at the beginning. I am really at the beginning of my way, and wine need time. So especially to grow up a vineyard, I have the challenge, at least one of my life, to make an unforgettable wine. But we will see in the future.
So we're going to drink 04 through 09 tonight. So briefly take us through. 04 was your first vintage of Bolgheri Superiore. How was that vintage for you?
Well, that vintage was a great vintage in Bolgheri, I would say all over Tuscany, probably all over Italy. At that time, our vineyards were very, very young because they were planted in 1999, so probably that's
right.
A disadvantage.
Right. Yeah. So how do you think that wine's going to taste tonight?
I think, I don't know, but I think we will have a surprise. So it will be good.
I think it'll be a good surprise.
Yeah.
And then 05.
05 was a difficult vintage, but still an interesting wine. Then we will test 06, 07, and 08 big vintages. So probably we will have the best from these 3 vintages. And then 09, which was a difficult vintage, very young wine, we will see.
And your favorite vintage?
2008.
And we talked about this briefly before. I love 2008, but I think 2006, even though the vines were quite young, I think it was a great vintage. And I like 06 and 08 for different reasons. But tonight we're going to taste them side by side, so only tonight will tell. So Massimo and I will be back with a tasting mat with all those wines in front of us, and we're going to go through those wines briefly again, and we'll be back in an hour or so. We're just getting ready. We had to get tuned up for tonight because it's a special, special night. Thank you, Massimo.
Thank you, Victor.
New Jersey, not bad, right?
It was wonderful. Perfect. I'm moving here. Maybe.
Yeah. See you soon.